and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of Doctor Who Series 1, Episode 2, The End of the World. Okay, after the first episode, Rose, which pretty much gets all the characters introduced, gets the series up and running, gets us started, and introduces a classic villain to help the audience ease in, the show can now move into taking us into time and space to explore new worlds or space stations and encounter new races. And pretty much 2 episodes into the new series, we have probably the most number of aliens seen on screen in Doctor Who, besides Dimensions in Time, especially at any one given time, as we see a variety of aliens in costumes. Some look pretty impressive, some look a bit slapped together, but still pretty impressive at the time. And what are all these aliens doing? Well, they've come to this space station to watch the end of the world in the year 5 billion. So the Doctor and Rose travel to the year 5 billion because the Doctor's basically showing off, as Rose wants to go to the future, and he's pretty much showing off his time travel abilities. So they go to platform 1 in the year 5 billion, 5 billion AD, to watch the Earth, the end of the world, and they have a party with all these aliens. Rose is, of course, is a bit uncomfortable with all of these aliens around, although she can be a bit friendly to some, like Raffaello the plumber. But she is a bit uncomfortable around due to the wholeness of the future. A character I think is a little bit better here than Rose, as she's got a bit more likeable scenes and a few good moments. She is still a little bit bitchy in some places, but then again, the most bitchy scene she has is with Cassandra, who herself is a bitchy character, so no one pretty much wins that, especially as Rose gets kidnapped by the appearance of the repeating mean, who are under Cassandra's control. By the way, Cassandra's the villain of the story, in case you didn't know. I mean, it was pretty obvious throughout the entirety of the story that she's going to be the main villain, or at least a antagonist of some kind. We've also got the Moxer Balhoun and the Face of Bo as other notable aliens on the spaceship. The Moxer Balhoun is played by Jimmy V. Unless he played a small Auton in Rose, this is the first Jimmy V character we see on screen, although I think he played the Space Pig in Aliens of London World War III, which I think was filmed first. But unless he was a little Auton, one of the kid Autons in Rose, this is his first character appearance on screen. And the Face of Bo will be returning in 2 more episodes' time. Well, he gets a cameo in Long Game, and then he's got 2 more episodes in series 2 and 3. He's going to make an appearance, and then he's going to have a bit more of a larger role in those, especially in his final appearance. But as for the moment, it's just a new character. He's making an appearance, and he's going to be a bit more relevant to Doctor Who lore of Series 3 later on down the line, plus an appearance in Series 2, which pretty much hints at his Series 3 reappearance, and has a connection to another character who's going to be coming into the series later on down the line, a certain time agent with an American accent who was originally born in Scotland, and played by the marvellous John Barrowman. Oh shit, I've given it away now. Anyway, after giving you a potential spoiler away, so the Doctor, of course, sees that Rose is a bit distressed, and they have a talk where they kind of get to see each other, as Rose wants to know who the Doctor is, and he, of course, is very close about that. And we're going to find out a bit more why, because normally the Doctor might just say, oh, I'm a Time Lord, blah, blah, blah. He might explain it, but here, because of what's happened with the Doctor, there was a war mentioned in Rose, and we're going to find out a bit more at the very end of the episode. And throughout the series, we're going to learn even more about this war, which turns out at the end of the episode, he reveals to be the Time War, and a fantastic final scene, by the way, but I'll get back to that. Anyway, a sabotage attempt on the space station happens, and it turns out that Cassandra is attempting a hostage/sabotage situation where I'm not sure, something about money, getting money for being placed in this hostage situation whilst the platform is about to be destroyed. Of course, the Doctor snuffs her out with help from Jade, a tree person, which, by the way, Jade is a nice character. She's very good. She doesn't have a huge amount of personality, but she's a nice character and likeable, and you do feel for her when she does pass away. And this is probably the first death that affects the Ninth Doctor post the Time War. I don't think the death of Clive is going to be on his conscience, not least because he didn't know him, but nor that he saw the death happen, or even be aware of it. But Jabe, I think, is going to Jade. I think, is it Jade or Jabe? I think it's going to be on his conscience now, and it's going to be the first death on screen that we've seen. That will be the first of the new series Doctors. Death on their conscience. This is especially true when we get to Journey's End, where the Doctor's reflecting on such characters. Anyway, Cassandra escapes and leaves everyone else to die. So the Doctor and Jade have to eventually save everyone. This is where Jade dies because she's made of wood and the heat pretty much turns her on fire. Some really great scenes with the Ninth Doctor, though, as he's trying to get through the fans to get to the other side of the system to cool it down, and he has to go through the fans. He has to keep ducking, and when he gets to the last one, it's made even harder because when Jade's pulling the lever down to make sure the fans slow down for him to get through, that's when she gets caught on fire. So he has to put faith in himself to step forward so he can rescue Rose and everybody else on the space station, or at least everyone he can. I mean, everyone would have died if he didn't save the day, but a couple people did still die, such as the Moxa Balhoun. But if he hadn't succeeded, then everyone would be dead, with him as the possible exception. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool bit, and you get to see some fantastic moments from Christopher Eccleston, with the last episode being very focused on Rose and her trying to find out about the Doctor. This episode gets to show us some of the Doctor's more personality. This episode gets to show us more of the Doctor, and it gets to show us how he feels in these situations and his emotions, and it's so amazing. And Christopher Eccleston just does a fantastic performance. I loved his reaction to when he saw Jabe on fire. He was probably heartbroken as well, come to think of it. He probably liked her quite a lot, and the way he has to tell her well, I suppose her colleagues about it, yeah, it pretty much distresses him. Death does anger him as well, and causes him to bring Cassandra back and pretty much let her die as a result. So I do like how the Ninth Doctor's been going. I mean, yeah, the Ninth Doctor is a very damaged character, but I like how that's been portrayed through Eccleston's performance, and how his emotions can get the better of him in some places. I lost where I was going, but point is, Eccleston, fantastic, and the Ninth Doctor is fantastically written. Merged the two together and amazing. Similarly, Billie Piper also does an amazing job as Rose Tyler. Like I said, I think the character is written a little bit better, although, like I said, this story now starts to focus a bit more on the Doctor, and a bit more evenly between the two. So that's about it. I also liked the supporting cast. Yasmin Bannerman, I think it is, as Jabe. She's very good, and Zoe Wanamaker is amazing as Cassandra, or at least the voice of Cassandra. And I also really liked that the Steward. He was a pretty fun character until he was sadly killed. Some really good effects, although some are pretty obvious, the effects, like some of the spiders. But it all looks really great. And the final scene at the very end is amazing, with the Doctor pretty much telling Rose, well, they're talking about how humans fear death, but they never imagined that they would survive along for millions of years, billions of years even, and then admits that his planet's gone, Gallifrey has been destroyed, and his people are dead, and they were lost during this big war that was mentioned by the Nestene, and will be mentioned by the Gelf in the next episode, the Time War. And he doesn't mention who the Time Lords were facing in the Time War, who they were fighting, but 4 episodes time we're going to find out, and it's going to be a massive reintroduction for another classic villain of the show. It's going to be a massive reintroduction, and it's going to shake the Doctor's emotion, and it's going to be a re-encounter that's going to shake the Doctor to his core. God, I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to reveal the title because that will spoil the villain, even though I'm pretty much sure most of you know what I'm talking about, which villain I'm talking about. But let's say it's Series 1, Episode 6. We're going to find out, and oh boy, I'm looking forward to that episode. So On the whole, The End of the World is a very good story. I don't think it's a step up from last time, but apart from in Rose's character and more Ninth Doctor emotion stuff. But I think it is handled really well and some really great stuff. Not to mention where they went to film looks amazing. I think it's a chapel in Cardiff, or was it? I think it was it the assembly room, the Welsh Assembly Room in Cardiff. But some amazing interior locations and some amazing visual effects. The story isn't hugely amazing, but it's still very fun and very enjoyable. So I'll be giving this story a 7 out of 10. Not a masterpiece, but I think it's very well handled and very enjoyable, very entertaining, and very well written. It's just that there are some bits that knock it down a little bit, but it's still quite fun, and certainly certainly required viewing if you're getting to know this new series as it's going along, introducing these characters and seeing their emotions go around, as well as introducing the new Time War concept, plus the Bad Wolf concept, as Bad Wolf gets introduced here. But in a passing remark, the next story is going to be where Bad Wolf makes its first big appearance, or at least verbally, at least. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Next time, The Unquiet Dead. And I'll see you guys then. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne Retro YouTube channel. Okay, so after the introductory pilot episode of... after Rose, which was pretty much set, it's time for the Doctor Who to... Doctor Who can now... Anyway, after doing a potential spoiler, okay, the Doctor and Rose... some amazing bit. Anyway, so there turns out to be... I don't think Clyde's going to be on his conscience throughout most of... that will eat the new series... Anyway, Cassandra escaped, which pretty much he's pretty much angry at what's happened, which gives him the he's very angry at what's happened. So at the same time, they show him, and Eccleston does a fantastic job, and Eccleston definitely is probably the motion to I lost where I was going with that point, but short space, and it's been due. God, I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to reveal the title. Series episode. Okay. The story The story is also very good. It's not massively amazing, but it's also